Brilliant, thanks. Good afternoon. I think, we're good, we're up and running already. This is good. Before we start, I just thought it might be interesting to know who's actually taken a look at Power BI, or first of all, who's heard of it? Show of hands. Great, oh, that's really good. Has anyone already started using it as well? Yeah, a few people, great. So today we just want to demo a few features that are in the programme just to help you understand it a bit more if you aren't so familiar with it. So we're just going to start from the ground up, a bit of a demo here. So in the Stats 19 accident system that you've got, quite often you can get an output of a selection of collisions. So we've got a spreadsheet here for our sample. And we're just going to guide you through basically how we're going to get that spreadsheet into Power BI and get some charts created. You do need to prepare the spreadsheet, but we'll give you some guidance on that in the Analyst forum network. So here we are in Power BI. It's a blank screen to start with. You need to go to Get Data at the very start, and you've got a variety of options of format that you can upload. So we're going to go for Excel, because that's the data that we've got prepared. So you would just simply find your file, add. What it'll do is it'll actually load down the right-hand side. You can see all of those column headers that were in your spreadsheet are now on the right-hand side. Or will be in a second, there we go. So that's essentially all the data that you want to display on the screen in front of you. So if we start with a column chart, and we'll just look at doing some collisions by year to start with. So you can go to the right-hand side of the menu and you just simply pick, drag and drop into the what they call the field well. So the first thing you need to add is what Andy's done, that is the value. So you want to count the number of crashes, and then on the axis of the bar chart you want the year. So you can see within a few clicks already we've got some data up there, so it's quite quick on the off to get some information. There's a number of different tools that you can see under the word visualizations at the top there. They're all sorts of different things. We're just going to show you a few of those. So we'll also load up a filter, or a slicer as what they call it. And we'll add severity in there. So what you can do is, as you start to add charts, you can then click on and off this filter. Say if you only want to display fatal collisions, you can just check the box and it will refine all your other charts on screen. There are also other options that you can do to tweak all of these different visualizations. So there's a checkbox in there if you want to put select all. So I quite often use that. I find it's quite useful. Once you've started ticking things and filtering things, you want to go back to the beginning. So to have that select all as an option is a good one to add in. It's not there as default, but it is under the selection controls menu there. There's another type of filter that you can do. So you can change the way that it looks by doing a drop-down menu if you want to filter things. So we'll add that in on this example here, and we'll look at authority name. So and you can just go through the menu in the top corner there. I think it just sort of flashed up, and so you can see it says drop-down. So you have the choice list, which is what you see as severity at the moment, and drop-down. So yeah, we've got a few different options in there. We'll pop a donut chart on. Quite like donut charts. I prefer them to pie charts. I just think they're a bit more interesting. So they're all icons on there. So and again, it's a case of dragging and dropping. So this time we're going to do road class as the legend, and values, or the thing that we want to count, crashes. So you can see we're starting to build a few charts there. We'll just add one more, which will be a bar chart, and we'll do a time series showing crashes by time of day. So you do sometimes need to prep the data in Power BI, so we will give you some more guidance. If you get stuck on this, you can check it out on the Analyst forum network. And there's different options you can do. So you can quite often you'll need to click on the field in the right-hand side there, and you'll see the menu will change up above. So if you want to sort different things in different ways, you've got this sort by column option as well. So that's really handy to know. So if you've got this sort of time series and it all looks all out of kilter, you're able to use that function to sort things differently. Okay, so once you've got a few charts loaded on there, as I said, you know, you can do the filters. You can actually select any of the charts and it will filter all of the other ones that you see on screen. So, so if you clicked on the donut, for example, it will just filter back the rest of the charts to just say, well, A roads is what Andy's clicked there. So. And you can do that on any of them, with any of them. So it's really, really, really helpful. So if you want to change the way that one chart filters another, there are options under the tool called Edit Interactions, and Andy's just showing you that now. You can actually choose to just highlight things in other charts or just filter everything completely. So it's just worth checking that out and just making that work for whatever you want to display. In some cases, you may not want to filter anything, so you may just want that chart to be a standalone chart and not be connected to anything else on screen. So that's good to know about. But the interactivity is really also, you know, really key with this sort of tool. So we also have an easy way of mapping data in Power BI, which I think is, you know, another one of its strengths, really. So if in your spreadsheet, we had some latitude and longitude data already loaded in there. I think a lot of systems you'll probably get in Easting and Northing, but there are online tools that will easily convert that into a latitude and longitude for you. So we've already preloaded that in. And Power BI often just recognises data that you've loaded in. But if it doesn't, you can actually just make a couple of changes on the settings. So if you highlight the latitude and then you go to the modelling tab at the top there, you just want to make sure that in data category, which you can see highlighted, it's just selected as longitude. So sometimes there's a few little things to set up and a few things to find in the menus, but hopefully this will give you an idea of where to look if you haven't used this mapping bit before, or if it's all completely new to you, then give you an idea. So once you've got those little settings done, you can just drag and drop and literally,
should just work.
Drum roll, depending on your internet connection as well, of course. We've got a few dots. We're actually looking, as you can see, Reading, Slough, Berkshire data here. So it's mapping all of the collisions within that area. And again, like all the other charts, everything's interactive with everything. So if you just want to look at a certain year, or if you just want to, it'll just refine that down to what you see, or just the A roads or certain times, all of it. It's just, yeah, it's dead easy. So yeah, that's good. There are other types of maps that you can use in Power BI. That is their standard mapping function. You can use whole area shapes. You can even add your own mapping files as well. So if you've got polygons or shape areas that you've created yourself, there is an ArcGIS plugin that they're just developing at the moment. I am yet to, I'm very, very close to getting it working. So as soon as that's done, I can share a bit more information again on the network. It's the easiest way to do that with everybody. But yeah, that's through the ArcGIS preview feature. So I think we've covered the mapping side of it. There's quite a few other there's quite a lot of other visuals that you can choose to add to your selection of visuals. We'll just show you a few more that might be available. You can also import various ones from the actual Power BI website. So these are people that are just using Power BI. They've created their own visuals that you might want to download from the website and import in. So if we just go to it's very easy, Google Power BI custom visual. And it should hopefully give you the gallery. So you'll get a list in a minute that loads. So you can actually download the file for that custom visual, which you'll then import into Power BI if you want to use it. There's also an option to download a sample of what that custom visual may look like as well. So that's pretty good. So you can see you've got the options there. Download a visual or download sample. I would definitely recommend download the sample because it's a really easy way of understanding what that custom visual does, how you load data, where things go in it. So So yeah, so loads of different custom visuals there that people have added over time, and they'll just keep, the list will just keep growing. So we've got a few custom visuals we've imported here. You might be intrigued by the fishes there. I think that's quite good. Maybe not in the context of collisions, but you get where we're going with this. So basically the fishes represent the different areas of where the collisions are, and the larger the fish, the more the collisions. So, and they move, so they look pretty happy, don't they? So if you hover over a fish, that's West Berkshire, would you believe? It's interactive, would you believe? Click on the yellow fish, West Berkshire, and all the other stuff around it will change. So look, it's frozen in time there. It's quite fun, and it's good to download the sample of that because you can use it for financial data. If you have a negative value, the fish actually goes upside down and goes to the top of the tank. So yeah. It's quite intriguing. I'm not sure how we would use that in our road safety context, but So, but yeah, we've got a word cloud there as well. I'll just quickly cover that. So I've used that for contributory factors, which I know some people may say clear of, but it works really well with the word cloud. So you can just see if there's contributory factors that are listed more than others, it will just come up in bigger writing. So, but we've used road class there. So. And if you clicked on an area or click on a fish, say, you can see it will change, and you can just see A308 there and M4, they're the bigger font, which is saying there's more collisions on those roads than others. We've got the infographic designer. I think really it's a case of going in, downloading as much as you can, and having a play around and seeing what works for you, and the way that you display data, make it work for you. I think just got one last thing to cover, and then we'll wrap up. So once you've created all your visuals, it's actually a two-step process. If you want to share this data, it's quite simple when you know how. So what you need to do is, if you've got your visuals, you're ready to go, and you want to share with colleagues or even out to the public, the process you need to do is to click this publish button at the top right here. So once you've clicked the Publish button, it will load all your visuals into the an online space that you log into. So we'll just go there now. So that's what appears. So you log in like you would SharePoint. So you just put in your email address and password, and it comes up there. So once it's there, you want to send it off to the web so it's live, and you can embed a link. You just hit File, Publish to Web. Once that's done, it will give you all the information you need to share with people. They're really, really long addresses, so I use like tiny URL, or there could be other websites, that will just shorten that so that you can make a better website address that will redirect to the really long one you see there. So that just hopefully gives you a bit of a taste for Power BI. I actually did go on a course in December, a really good course. It was a 2-day course, and I've asked for some prices if we got together in groups of 6 people, what we'd be looking at, and they have offered a really lean discount. So depending on the location, for a 2-day course, we're looking between £400 and £500 per person over a 2-day period. So just to give you an idea, and again, more information to follow on the network forum.